We got this Monte Carlo SS up in here. We're gonna set this ass end down. So stock springs, stock shocks. Well, a wannabe coilover shock setup. Trash. I had to cut the tails off already down the ground over here because they were all up in my way and they were painted and smashed. And anyway, but they had these in the rear springs, which, to be honest, they weren't doing much. So I'll leave that back spring in there. I'll heat it to get it to lower, but I'll be able to get the tire to be up in there and clear. Somebody frame knot, as in, yeah, look real close, y'all. They took a torch. I can't get to it. They took a torch and just cut a section out. Once I get it up and get in there, I'll show you guys that. The e-brake cables are just hanging underneath there. Used to have air shocks on there. They just left the lines. I ripped the lines out. It's just laying on the floor. So right now, this side of the car is 3/4 of an inch higher than that side. The wheels have that offset to where they sit under, you know, basically that. So I probably only need a 1/4 inch spacer on these wheels on here with the frame notch, and I'll probably notch a little bit up there on the frame. But he bought some 3/4 all-star spacers, and if I got to put studs in it and at least a 1/2 inch spacer, then I'll do that. But I'll pop the stock stud out of the axle and I'll drill and tap the stock hole for the 1/2 inch by 20, because it is, I'm pretty sure I could just run this tap through it. And I have plenty of studs. I got a set of 2-inch studs around here and a set of 3-inch. But yeah, he had some mishaps. The hood wasn't last or something one day. Came up on him. But anyways, SS. We got KYB shocks, front and back, going on it. It's got those wannabe coilover styles in the front too, which once I get it up in there, I'll show you guys that. We got the longer ball joints, which Pro Forge offers that longer ball joint. He stopped at Winter Circle downtown Joliet, Illinois, and picked those up. But they're the Pro Forge brand and not the All-Star brand, but basically same thing, as in it's an inch longer. Because I didn't know how this was, but when I show you guys what they did there under the hood, they're longer bolts in the upper control arm. They're the UMI, or universal car lifts. Universal car lifts, my bad. Universal car lifts, front upper control arms, you can totally tell, you'll see them. But there's probably like 15 shims on the back, 15 shims on the front, meaning the stud and the stud. They put different bolts in there. He bought it like that. He bought it like that. But he can't ride nobody in it without the tires rubbing the backs of the frames, which obviously we know that Gbody's got to have a 1/4 rail frame notch at least. So, but yeah, Sunday, just got it in here. Front frame notch for full turn, change the front shocks, and then I'll double check the alignment. He says it's sloppy. Had a brand new gearbox put on it. He put the gearbox on it in Pitman arm. The other stuff seems to be tight, so I don't know. Maybe I'll drive it first and see what it does. But I already started working on it, had it up in there. The owner was here with his buddy, and we were, looking at everything underneath, going over a lot of stuff. I haven't measured the front yet, but I'm pretty sure that front is lower, which you can see that wheel was turned out a little bit, and it possibly is straight up and down on the front. And this one over here is totally, you can see it's cambered out on the top. And it looks like it might be turned a little bit this way. So the alignment, I'll double check, but told him he really needs to order all the Pro Forge stuff for the front. But yeah, All right, y'all. So what we got going on? What's that roof in there, y'all? I don't know what that roof is, but I see a little bit more of a arch to it. Probably a Mini Cooper or something, right? This wheel and the back on this side looks like it's way under farther than this wheel. That's what it's here for, me to figure it out. We got double adjustable control arms, uppers and lowers to go on the back. So I put those on there. A couple little things, try to make this in and out. I've already looked it over. It looks like it should be able to, in and out. So yeah, I'll get the frame knives done in the front, get the frame knives done in the back. It's a messy job, but it's all good. I'll make sure I put his windows up. Got that light tan interior. But all right, y'all. Yeah, let me put it up in the air and show you guys some more stuff.
Hi.
Joe.
Cool car.
There's a QA1 rear sway bar that clamps on. You see the back when the front turns, the back leans. Whatever the weight is, goes this way, that way. Alright, I'm back, y'all. As you can see, that big mess right there. We'll go over here. I already started frame notching. I got the stands underneath there. Got the fucking lift on the logs. The top's gonna come apart a little more, but as you can see, you need to round how this curves back. So this needs to be curved a little bit more through here. And the top follows. You don't want it to lean in at the top. Look at this. The piece that comes out, you can see that somebody already was beating on it. But I cut that piece out, flexed it a little bit in the vise, try to keep a nice curve to it, So there's a flat area right here on top because they beat like right in here. But yeah, that piece goes back in, which is pretty thick, and then you guys know that I cap it here and I cap it here. So it overlays into there, and I use 3/16 over that. So this one, this inside structure, wasn't even doing nothing because it just fell out. Like I did the cut at the bottom and it just fell out. But what I wanted to show you is that rubbish, because there's no notch. We all know that with 24s and all the, even some 22s would hit there. So I'm gonna do the frame notch, quarter rail frame notch here. I am gonna go ahead, you can see they beat it in right here, which I tap, whatever. It's undercoated. But I'm gonna do the notch through this area too. Roll it in, weld it up. But got them killer. These are them killer coil lures, man. This is what everybody was talking about right here. Look at this shit. What does that do? That doesn't do shit. Once again, this is money lost, money wasted. They're too much money to begin with. The shock doesn't control shit. You push the car up and down and like 3 times of up and down, and then it gets a little bit of pressure to it. So that means the first 3 bumps you hit, you got it's just bouncing all over the place. Then the 3rd bump or the 4th bump, it wants to try to control it. You want a shock that controls, but the spring over shock is garbage, yo. Garbage. Told you I was cutting the tails off. Cut the tails off, but I left it facing this way, which it looks like they're gonna be hitting up in here. I don't know. Well, this one already hits the control arm, so probably just gonna cut them off right there because they're just gonna be a problem. The car is actually pretty clean underneath. So, all right, this side. Look at that, y'all. Let's just take a torch. And as you can see, that's all torched. They torched it out. Like I said, the rear end is that way to the passenger side because of the stock control arms and all the bushings. But we have the double adjustables going in there. We have some good KYB shocks going in the back. And then right here, you can see that those are welds. So it's like they beat it downwards and it cracked and then they welded it. So we got a little rub mark here. A little rub mark here. So I'll probably end up putting just a little shim on here, like a 1/4 inch, and then do ET lug nuts. But this side, see it's smoky in here from that front cut, but oh yeah, I gotta take the e-brake stuff off of here because it was already, that must have been the hose or, you know, maybe this, but when the car sits down, I took the clamps out of the springs that were in there and then I heated the spring up a little bit and I got the car down. By taking the clamps out and heating a little bit, I got the car to go down 1 3/4 inches so it looks decent where the back is sitting now. I'll clean the springs up, paint those when I do the frame mounting back there. But yeah, let me go to the other front side. This tire had a little cut, so you can see it was hitting this. So I'll go through and cut this and then cut, you know, the back off of there. And of course, we know the e-brake cable, you know, all that was rubbing here. We don't need that e-brake shit. And then yeah, the arms are not, you know, my arms, they're universal car lift arms. And then look how much shims. Look at the shims that they have. So they put them long ass bolts in there and ran how many shims? So dude just ordered a set of stock uppers, and then we have those Pro Forge longer ball joints. So that'll correct that. I got plenty of shims. I'll get those bolts out, put a set of shorter bolts in there because we don't need them to be that long. And when I get it snugged up in there, then I'll weld them in and they'll never loosen up again. But yeah, like I was saying with that. Then, I don't know what the hell's going on underneath here. This side. So, something on this part right here was grabbing the tire and cut the tire. So, and it's got, this is the left front tire, which is a different tire, and then the other three are that tire. But yeah, all right, y'all, I'm on it. Get back to you. Put that up. All right, I'm back. So, I got this rail notched out, played it all back in. Now I put the strip in here of 3/16. I put the strip in here of 3/16. It's not perfect, you know. If I was an English wheel guy and this and that, and I had it all set up in here, you know, could roll out a piece of metal or whatever and roll it in there. But when I put some paint on this, got a little bump out here. Like I said, this one originally had beat marks right here. You can see how much wheel well, the plastic, how it was all tore up. But anyways, with this with some paint on, I hit it with the 600 grit, a little smoother. I noticed when I've been putting the 600 grit to it and then putting the paint over it, the paint sticks way better and looks better. But yeah, so anyways, I mean, you guys have seen me do this over and over and over. You know, and other people are, oh, you gotta do this, oh, you gotta do that, oh, blah, blah, blah. I've been doing this since 2006. You got your way, I got my way, bro. I ain't had a car, front frame, flex, or anything like that. So, anyways, but that's all I got done, because I haven't, yeah, see, I haven't touched this side. But man, I'm telling you, bending, standing up, and applying the pressure for the grinding, which obviously, you know, it's a pain in the ass on the back, especially with this weather, this warm, cold, warm, cold. I know, they're going right back to complaining. Well, yeah. Notch down, that notch right there. I like to leave the top, you know, to make it that little bit of curve, so the top's a little out more than the bottom. But this, you've got to get into this pocket. A lot of these guys that cut behind it and make it like a step notch, the wheel ends up hitting this corner, the back of the rim, and definitely with a 24, the back of the rim hits and it digs into the rim right here. I mean, we already know that they rub a stock sway bar, but obviously now they got the QA1 narrow sway bar, which is excellent for the G bodies. Yeah, you know, there's little pits, little imperfections. It's not like the frame's getting powder coated. I'll put some paint on it though, man. Alright, let me put the paint on it. You know, everybody's like, dang, look at it doing here. I don't know. It came in like that. Alright, y'all. Let's get back to it. Alright, I'm back on it. This side, done and painted. This is, what is this, a semi-flat? I think is what's on the side. Oh, I didn't get down on the top of that. Oh well. And then the stock arms haven't showed up yet, but I started and finished this side. You know. Likes to be real shiny. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, let's see how the lights make it look like it's like dipped in, dipped out. I never said I was perfect, but seeing the curve and looking like a stock frame rail. You know, you look in the wheel wells of some of these cars and you see the step notches and the step notches, and then you see the other guys that are just all welded and boogered and cut here and cut there, and are the ones that are like, they slice, and they beat it in, and then they just booger. I mean, the shit I've seen over the years, and the shit that's still out there. Good Lord. Like I said, you know, if I had the material and stuff like that and had all the right tooling, yeah, I know I should have had it all these years of doing this. But think about what I use. A grinder, a cutoff wheel, and a welder. And that's only a 180 machine. So I think I'm doing pretty good with this stuff. I haven't touched anything on the back yet. Oh, well, like I said, I heated the springs. This is like a box Chevy spring or something. Had dancing in the air. I haven't figured out. I'm probably just gonna knock one of these studs out. So I'll take the caliper off, knock a stud out, and see what the knurl is, and then be able to get a stock stud a little bit longer. Still run ET lug nut extended thread, because we need to get this wheel out some. And of course the notch, I'm gonna notch there and change them wannabe ass coilovers, get them off there and put them KYBs on there. We got them KYB stock shocks. We got them double adjustable upper and lower control arms. But yeah, you guys see my floor? This is just sweating. This is, yeah, and yeah. So all day today, when I was in here, when I first started, it would only start moisture where I walked back and forth. But like last year I wasn't in here at this time of the year. So this was the first for me to start seeing this. Shit, all my other shops, I don't even think did this. But I think it's got a lot to do with, you know, the building's only just that one layer of metal, you know. But I'm about to get to putting some spray foam all around here. Next couple weeks I'll be able to do this. I'm gonna do the attic of the house first. It's hard to keep the house Like right now, it's warm as hell upstairs, cold downstairs. But anyways, Monte Carlo. I got a lot more done. And yeah. All right, y'all. 24s. And I'll be back. All right, y'all. Pulled this thing outside. Put that full notch up in there. I trim these corners a little more. But yeah. Still gotta change hover control arms in the front, waiting on those on to stop. The back, I just threw my T-type wheels on there so that way the wheels didn't rub because I lowered the back of the car. But anyway, pulled it outside because I got a GN inside to change some suspension stuff over. So obviously I'm working on that one right now, and then let me get that one done and get back on this one. No sense in finishing this one right now because I don't have the upper control arms. So if I leave it set on the lift and then wait to do the GN, you know damn well the arms won't show up. So pull it out here. I got the GN on the lift, and I'm working on that. And then of course this will go in underneath that tonight. But yeah, that's the next step. But yeah, I pulled it right out, bam. I was hoping it had a posi because this thing sounds healthy. It's got a blueprint 383 and aluminum heads, all that. And that one little fresh mark right there, I juiced it. It came right up. But yeah, only got that one tire fire. All right, y'all. Oh yeah, somebody wanted interior. Got some tan buckets in there. It's got a whole bunch of other stuff in there, but I think it's getting some work done, obviously. Well, pretty nice though. Oh, freaking Gbody. All right, y'all. That's the next step on this thing. I'll get it back in there, up on the lift. I'll be back on the video. Put that up. All right, got the Monte Carlo back on the lift. I know a couple of you guys probably seen the shorts or the reels or whatever. I was explaining about this back notch. I had pulled it off to get the GN in and out, but yeah, you know, having to explain that somebody torched that out and blah, 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 blah. So I got it cut, and I'm gonna plate it with the 3/16 and fill this in with the 3/16 and then weld, whatever. Same over here. I decided to, instead of just roll this in, I cut it first. Cut it there, pushed, knocked it in, and then trimmed off the excess. Pile of nasty. Again, yeah, somebody else did that. You seen in the beginning of this video. If I didn't show it, now I'm showing it. Boom. They cut it and welded it, and I don't know. So this whole tire on this side was into the frame, so the rear end's that way because of the stock control arms. I probably already explained that, but I try to go through the beginning part of the video to update myself on what was done, this and that. Anyway, so this side, I already welded in. So you can see the plate where I slid it is still hot, but where I slid it, boom, boom, boom. Could I get away with just leaving that like that and putting undercoating over it? Oh, of course. But I'll polish it up. I'll clean it up. I got plenty of weld in there. And like I was trying to explain about, you ever take a Sawzall and try to cut through a weld when you're cutting something apart? So if like this is metal on metal with the overlap, you know, but this up here was a hole, you know, a little bit of a gap. Not as big as everybody thinks. I didn't leave it a huge ass gap, but I filled it. Put a piece of metal in there and go around it, boom. Probably doesn't look very pretty from the backside. Probably looks like spaghetti. It doesn't feel that bad. A couple spots at the bottom. But you guys see how I do it. I clean the shit up. And this car, solid here. So I rolled it. This was bent up right here, the tire had caught. Now that's the other thing about these wheels is that the offset. So it's a small lip wheel. It's a 24 by 9, so 10 overall, but it has a lot of backspace. So I don't know how that ends up happening where they get wheels that sit so far under. So it'd be better to, I mean, you know, by 9 being 10 overall fits better, but when it sits under more, then it doesn't clear. So anyways, be able to clean that up, get that side welded up, get these wannabe coilovers off here, get the, I don't know if I'm gonna use these yet. Of course, y'all, got the killer double adjustable control arms. Got the extended ball joints, which I know I already showed this stuff. And then, and don't trip, I know. The Oklahoma colors. I got these sitting here because they're not heavy. I know I shouldn't, but brand new upper control arms. Stock. So, what I'll do here is, I will use the air chisel and get this ball joint out because it's riveted in. These ball joints out, put the longer ball joints in there because it's got these bogus universal car lift arms in there, and they're look how bent as shit they are from smacking the frame. So yeah, I gotta get the front wheels back off. This and that. Full turn in the driveway, didn't hit. I know I missed this little. It's not even that bad. Like you can barely feel the lip. But see how it dried, guys? See how it dried? It's not very, very, very shiny. It's nice and whatever. I know this car looks like it's been through hell. But that tire over there hasn't been holding there. But full turn in the driveway, no rub marks. Only rub mark that we have, obviously, is sway bar. So it's got full turn now. It's got those coilover wannabe shocks in the front, but we got KYBs going on there, which are in those boxes over there. KYB gas adjust. I'm telling you guys, silver gas adjust. You cannot. It takes all your weight to push a shock in. That's control. If you push a shock in and it just goes boom, and then 3 or 4 pumps later, it wants to act like it's got a little resistance, trash, straight trash. So if you guys want to buy a good shock, that's the perfect shock right there. Find them online. They still make them. Gas adjust. KYB gas adjust. And is this the other front or this the back one? Per your car. So Gbody 24s, Gbody 26s, blah blah. Of course, that would be the other front shock. There you go. There's a part number for this. Would be for the back. And then let's see. I'll give you this part number. There's the front part number. This is for Gbody. Chevy would be a little bit. The backs might be the same for Box Chevy. And there's the back. And of course, they got the hardware in here. But if you want a good ride, if you got rims and your shit's catching and riding like shit, very first thing you want to do, if you're not trying to buy no coilovers, Vikings or 281, put you a good set of shocks on there. Front. If you're cambered in, put you a longer ball joint. Take that stock ball joint right out, put the longer ball joint in there, which this is the Pro Forge. They have the longer one. Let me give you that part number. So, is that actually the part number? No, that might be a part number right there, right? So, suspension, ball joint, but it is the longer shaft style ball joint, which, okay, there we go. The All-Stars with the one, they say 1 inch longer shank or shaft or 1 inch longer ball joint, boom. You'll be able to put that on the front, get you in alignment, and you'll be rolling like this one right here. That's exactly what's going on here. Minus the frame notch. If your wheel sits out a little bit in the back and clears the frame better, no matter what, in the back corner, you'll need a notch, little notch. But you could get away and make the car ride better with just a good set of shocks and proper travel on the front. If you got to put a knuckle or two in there, you can put a knuckle or two. As long as you have a good shock, you're going to ride good. But all right, y'all. Let me get back on it. About that up. Some more info for y'all. Some more info. Oh, I was going to talk about some other shit, too. And this is what the neighbor did. See that pole? Look at the camera. Boom. And then shooting down my driveway. And then a camera over there shooting down my driveway this way. And he's trying to say he's overlooking his property. Look at how that camera's facing. So his house is all the way the fuck over there. So Karen, that male Karen, called the police on me the other day, called the police on my wife and kid. A whole bunch of dumb shit. Anyways, dumb shit. I don't know what it is with crybabies. Why is there so many crybabies in the world? Why is there so many Karens? Bet that up. But all right, I'll get back on it. All right, got this side fitted. Got it planted in there. Got it all cleaned up. Yeah, it's a motherfucker to do. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it's not, it's not perfect. Never said it was perfect. But the time it takes to do a full rail notch, then you gotta brace up the torque box because it makes the whole rail so thin that it makes it twist. The torque boxes push up and it twists. But you still got a full boxed area up there. The rim obviously sits above there. The only issues we have is there and there. I probably wouldn't be doing there if it wasn't for the offset of that rim. But yeah, so that's where we're at right there. Let's see, that's it's a chore. Takes a lot of time to do it this way. You don't see an English wheel in here and brand new metal and all this and that. Like I said, all that would be way more expensive and way more pricey of a job. So, but all right, I'll get this side fitted. That back's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I got it. Bet that up. MC. All right, y'all. Check it. Got the double adjustable control arms all up in the back. Got the KYB shocks in the back. Got it set down. I got the car about 2 inches. 2 inches lower in the back than what it was. Just squared up the rear end. This car, I noticed when doing the frame notch, this is the side that had the cut in the frame, and this side had way more rubbing than that side. And I think I said it in the video earlier. This frame rail, the body is on this frame to the right. So this was making this wheel under more. The control arms made a little bit of a difference, as in the stock ones to these, and this is adjustable, so I was able to adjust the rear end this way some to make up the difference for the body. So I have to jam the jam nuts on the rear control arms. I'm gonna check this pinion angle while it's sitting down. I already looked at it once, I think it's fine. Distances to there, double checked, frame distances, rear end, stuff like that to make sure the rear end is square, and it's coming up pretty square. So, I mean, that looks a hell of a lot better. I gotta grab some lug nuts for the back tomorrow. But, yeah. Still have to put the brand new stock upper control arms on there. Like I said, gotta get that ball joint out of there. Get these longer ball joints in there. Bolt them in regular from the top, not from the bottom. And then get all them shims and then bolts out of there. And then still got to put the KYB front shocks in there because it has a set of those wannabe coilovers in there. Oh, look at that. Both front tires are flat. Excuse me. Both front tires are flat. See how the front tire is like, well, maybe the rim width is different. No, I don't think so. But that tire is fatter on the rim than that tire. But yeah, this thing sits way better now. The back does not have a sway bar to it now. That would be a plus, is to put QA1, because it's a stock suspension car, put a QA1 bolt-on sway bar on the back, the new style one that bolts to the housing like I just put on the Grand National. So I'm going to suggest that to him. Obviously this side sitting higher in the front, which is making that side over there down a little more than this side. It did have that puny little stock sway bar on there, but you can't run that sway bar with these control arms no matter what. So even if these control arms had the holes in the bottom, you couldn't run that sway bar because it's made to fit the stock control arms with that insert that goes in the U-shaped of the arm. Anyways. Yeah, I know everybody's like, damn. He said something happened to the hood. I don't know. But I think he got the car majority of the way that it is. It's got a healthy ass little blueprint small block in it though. Gotta see. But yeah. I'm gonna get this front stuff changed out. Jam the control arms in the back. While I set it down, squared it up. I'll be able to take it up, jam that, and take the front wheels off. Change the shocks out first. Then I'll take the upper control arms out. I'll get them bolts and all them shims out of there. I'll get a set of smaller or shorter bolts, which I'll just probably use some three-quarter gold grade 8 bolts. Throw in there. Put the arm in there, tighten it up, tack the bolts in, and then adjust the alignment. Yeah, all right, a little more to go there, guys. Bet that up. All right, y'all. Got it back up. There's the KYB shocks installed, stock. Upper control arm, lower control arm, double adjustable. Got the rear end squared up. Pinion angle set pretty good. That's probably at 0 when it's on the ground, which is fine, which is perfect. What else? Oh, these pipes are just, oh shit. Whoever put these in, why would you have why'd you fold it backwards? You should have went up and came backwards with it and bolted it. I mean, look at that shit. What the hell's really going on? Let me get this e-brake cable out of there. Yeah, I forgot about it. But yeah, this one, same thing. Look at this one. Exhaust ain't got shit to do with me, but they did it again on this side. Like, well, how did you not know how the strap goes for the muffler hanger? I don't get it. And who knows when it was done? I don't know. Let's see. They reduced it from the collector. They reduced down a little bit, and then went reduced down again. Small pipe. This is what, 2 1/4 maybe 2 1/4. And these are, let's see, they're not flows, they're probably thrust thrust, how we say it. It sounds good though. Sounds real good. And then the tailpipes are a little smaller. I just dump them right there. Them tailpipes. That one's gonna clang and bang, and then there'll probably be a call about, oh man, there's noise. Well, if you watch the video and listen to what I tell you, needs pipes redone, needs this. Could use that QA1 sway bar on the back. This rubbing right here. You could put the QA1 narrow sway bar on the front for big wheels. And of course all these steering components, because I guarantee you it's sloppy. Oh yeah, look at that. The idler moved up and down. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get these front wheels off. Or I'm gonna get the front wheels off, get the shocks dropped out of it, get the new shocks in it, and then take the upper control arms off. All right, I'll be back.
Cool car.
There's a QA1 rear sway bar that clamps on. You see the back when the front turns, the back leans. And whatever the weight is, goes this way, that way. All right. There it is. Got it aligned the best I could with the steering components in the front. It needs to get the Pro Forged steering components. Like I said, this was just a quick in and out, get the tires from rubbing, get the tires to stop rubbing. So full notch in the front, notch in the back, the wheels sit good, the car sits good. Just got it up on there because it clears the garage door right there. I don't know why I didn't have him just pull it all in, but anyway, just took it for a ride. Drives fairly straight down the road. It's got a little torque steer. Like when you get in the gas, it stays straight, but you get off the gas, it goes to the left a little bit. So again, all that steering stuff in the front. So it's got play, is what I'm saying. It's got play in there. But the front, because of those universal car lifts arms, those arms beat into the frame. So let me show you guys these things again. All right. So look at how bent the ball joint plate is, right? See those marks right there? Both of them. And the frame has dents in it. Look how bad the patch on the side is. Ray Charles can see that. Junk. Change the bolts out. Alright. Well, as you can see, my daughter just, the wind took her balloon, and my son went running to get it to save it for her. But yet, these damn cameras, so that way he can have my kid trespassed a second time. I mean, this dude next door is a clown, straight clown. Like I said, see what I'm talking about? That right there. Now look, his sign, the wind broke. There's the peace lane over here because the wind's so crazy. That sign down there already fell off because he just had it slid in there. So, and then he's got, I put all this right here just to piss him off. But there's another post down there with the camera on it facing back this way, and this one's facing that way. But he's trying to say that they only face his side, but you can see right now, he can see me all day on that camera. So, but yeah, it'd be some BS about that balloon. My son going through the trees, and he'll be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, this dude be charging me up. He on vacation right now. See his work truck sitting over there, and he hasn't moved since Thursday, since the last BS that was happening. Anyways, back to this MC. I just took some pictures of it in the front yard. It sits good. It's got a little 383 blueprint engine in it. Runs pretty good. It needs some good plug wires. It's got a burnt plug wire on this side. He asked me to see what else it all needs. So I got a list of stuff to tell him that he can get. But he was hoping it'd be ready for tomorrow. It's ready for tomorrow. I'll call him and let him know so he can set arrangements to come get it and tell him how much he owes. But yeah. All right, y'all. I know I didn't show everything on the front, but the new stock Gbody control arms, and then I put the longer ball joint in it and set the alignment. But like I was saying, those arms, the universal cardless arms, lock onto the frame, so when people put a bigger spring in there, it holds like 1.5 inches of height. So the car actually did come up in the front, and I put the car down in the back. So, but yeah, all right, y'all, there it is. Set it up, quick stuff, in and out stuff, frame notching, and I'm all good. Bet it up, I'm out.